Okay.
All right.
This is it.
This is it.
Annie, so your Kill Tony was the funniest I have seen an opener do in a long, long time. How was that? How did that feel?
Oh, I mean, it was a. Thank you, by the way. I mean, it was a wild experience. It was the first night they were holding everybody over next door instead of across the street.
Oh yeah.
So when they called my name, a guy from the mothership came and got me, and like we ran down the stairs, and he tried to open the door, and he was like, it's locked, and I just said no. And I
Like to open like the back to get into the mothership?
to go to that back alleyway.
Oh, okay.
And then I just ran with my shoulder just right into it, opened the door like a
damn.
movie. Yeah. It was like one of the most impressive things that I've ever done.
The guy who worked there couldn't get it, and you
He just
kicked it down?
he just like was like accepting that, and I wasn't. So then we ran down the alleyway, and they take all your stuff, and then you have about 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a wild experience, because obviously you just assume you're not going to get your name called.
Right.
And that's your night.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes it happens.
Yeah. You killed it though.
Thank you.
Blackest thing about you was like, holy shit, that was so good. And then the follow-up Latina thing about you, also so good. And that was great. That's good. So you said you're a golf pro.
Yes.
So what's that like?
Well, I work at a club out in the suburbs, and we run tournaments, give lessons,
Yeah.
answer the phone.
You said mostly kids, right?
Me personally, that's who I tend to see, but every pro there kind of has their own, demographic.
Right.
Maybe that's not the right word, but yeah, I mean, I fold a lot of clothes. That's a huge part of being a golf pro.
Is folding
clothes in the shop.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a whole cliche about it in my little world, but it's just there's like the amount that I personally play golf.
Yeah.
The last full round of golf I played was on New Year's Day.
Oh, really?
I mean,
Holy shit. That's a long time ago.
if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But here, the thing is that when you work at a golf course, when you get off work, you don't want to stay at work.
So it's like a job for you now.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's my career.
Yeah, but like to the point of like, I don't want to play golf anymore. I want to go home.
I like to play other courses.
Oh,
I like to play
okay.
other courses, because if I go out and I play after work, someone's going to flag me down and say, hey, people are really slow on number 7. And I can't say, I'm off the clock, buddy.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, it's fun. I could play a lot more golf if I wanted to, but I think people think that I get to work and I go play golf.
Yeah.
Which is not. There are two types of golf pros. There are playing professionals on PGA Tour, LPGA Tour,
Yeah.
mini tours, and then there are club professionals or teaching professionals, which is what I am.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
What's your handicap though?
I'm not that good. I'm like a 7.
Okay. Still better than me.
Yes, I mean, still better than most. But I used to be better, but everyone says that.
When'd you start playing?
I started when I was 14.
14.
Yeah, I got kind of a late start.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess that is late in golf compared to like Tiger Woods or something, but
No, totally. And then, as you get older, you find yourself saying things like, well, 20 years ago, like I say 20 years ago all the time now.
Yeah.
I started golf 20 years ago. So I've been playing a while.
And you started comedy 6 weeks ago? You said 8 weeks?
When I did Keltoni, it was 6 weeks ago. That's like
7.
like 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that happen? How does someone who's like, I'm a golf pro goes, I'm going to get into comedy?
You know, I was bored.
Yeah.
I was really just I was like, what am I doing? You know, as strange as it is to say, I'm funny. And I wanted to see if I could, you know, there's funny at the dinner table with your friends, and then there's funny on stage.
And then there's funny on stage.
And I was like, you know, I just always told myself, you know, that there's different types of funny. But then I started writing, and I felt like this isn't bad.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Was the pyramid scheme one of your first jokes you wrote?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. That one's pretty good.
Thank you.
That one is good. Because it's true.
It is true.
It is
yeah,
true.
that it is true.
Yeah. And some people make their whole identity behind the pyramid scheme.
Totally.
And then it's like, yeah, but
What about you?
what about you? Yeah, that's exactly it. What about you? Like, what do you like doing? And yeah, it's kind of sad to see people, especially people I went to high school with, and I'm like, dang, your whole identity is just your kid. I mean, like and that's fine, but also like, you know, you should have something else that you like doing.
Totally.
Because I think that's healthy.
Your identity should come from you.
Exactly. Yeah, I had a similar start. I started like 8 months ago doing comedy, very recently.
Okay.
And but I sell mortgages as like another job. And what I do is I was posting real estate videos online, like on TikTok and stuff, and I would get like a pretty good following and a pretty good viewership from that.
Can I ask why?
Well, you get business. So actually it all goes back to my first corporate job. And I was working corporate. I didn't really like it. And I saw this guy who was selling loans and doing funny videos online, and he would do that as a means of selling loans.
Oh, so they're
funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. And then I was like, that's amazing. Like, there's a way to mix the boring corporate world with fun.
Yeah.
And so I did that. And then when I started to do that, I started to get success. But then I was like, but I actually hate the corporate part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to drop that piece.
Sure.
And yeah, and then I did that like 8 months ago. I was like, I'm just going to drop the corporate piece. I still sell loans on the side, but now I'm trying to have like a whole comedy aspect that is separate.
I love that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I related to you when you were up there and you were like, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to, you know, like you just said, I thought it was funny at the dinner table. Like, maybe I can go full funny.
Yeah, why,
You know what I mean?
Nobody cares. Just do it.
Nobody cares. But there's that lingering voice in the back of all of our heads. It's like, oh, but what would my family think? You know what I mean? You know? But I don't know. But I like comedy. So Narbar, 8 weeks, and you're already on like a little group over there, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my spot now.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have like a friend group in there too.
Yeah. That's one of the hardest parts, I feel like, with comedy, is that when you start, it's like kind of hard to make friends,
Oh, totally.
you know?
Yeah.
Because everyone's sort of like measuring you as like, is this a person that's going to level me up? You know, I kind of got that kind of energy a lot. But I do think, you know, once you find a good group, then it's solid. But
Yeah.
yeah. How many minutes of comedy do you think you have right now? Like all your stuff put together in a box?
Well, there are minutes and then there are good minutes. I have 7.5 right now that I think are really good and that have done well.
That's good. 7.5 is a lot.
It feels like a lifetime.
Yeah. What's the longest you've been up there?
I haven't done my 7 yet. I was gonna do it on Tuesday, but I chickened out. But I've been doing 5, and then I'm hoping the end of this week to add the 2.5 that I have to it.
Cool.
But yeah, I think, I still haven't, it's so hard to, this, just like getting feedback and knowing whether it's enough to change something. Making sure I get up enough times and like, you can find a pattern there for what's working, what's not.
Yeah.
I don't know, if I've, I did a 4-minute set, at Vulcan, and I invited all my friends, and, I really loved it at the time. It was like when I first started, this was a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
But I look back at it now and I'm like,
You hate it already?
yeah. But I mean, as well as I just sometimes you wake up in the morning and you look at what you thought was brilliant last night. And
and then you're like, that's.
But I think it's good to have the voice in your head saying, I have no business doing this.
Well, it's also growth. I mean, like when you look back at who you are as a kid, there's a lot of shit you did that you're like, that was dumb. You know?
Yeah, all of it.
So I think it's good to feel that feeling again in adulthood, to look back and be like, oh, what was I doing there? Because it means growth. It means that you learned something.
Yeah.
And that's a feeling like I don't think I get enough. Well, at least in my corporate life, I was like, I'm not getting that feeling enough. And I think that's a good feeling. That's a feeling that you should chase.
Totally.
But it is shitty though to see yourself on camera and be like, fuck,
I know.
what was I doing?
Oh, I know. Watching yourself on video is.
Do you still have the problem where you like hear yourself on audio and you're like, what the, like, is that how I sound? Do you still get that?
That actually went away quickly, which was nice.
Yeah. Do you record yourself all the time?
Not always. But I have a few times. But God, it's just awful to hear.
Yeah.
My God. Oh, it's bad.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, it's good too. So
Yeah.
even if I hate it, it's
good
important.
to know. It must be a little tough at Narber because it's
so noisy.
It's pretty noisy there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like outside.
Yeah, it's like half outside, and the bar upstairs is in full force most of the time.
Yeah. Did you how long did you know about Kill Tony before you signed up?
I went and saw Kill Tony a year ago. I had a couple of my friends visit, and one of my friends at work randomly had 3 extra tickets, and all of my friends that visited me, they all work in golf, and so in the golf world, we all have Mondays off because that's when clubs are closed.
Oh, nice.
So their last day of their trip was Monday, so we went and saw Kill Tony, and it was a total riot, and then people tell you not. People just told me not to sign up.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Like your friends?
Other comedians.
Yeah, I get that.
And I was like, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. As long as you have a minute.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing they really care about is that you have some kind of material.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna go up there and try to wing it.
Yeah.
So, but it was my second time signing up. So
that's interesting. So I was on in August.
Okay.
And it was my second time signing up. And I got on and I was like, oh shit. And it was the same situation as yours. I had been doing it for maybe a month and a half.
How did it go?
Bomb my minute. I told a joke. So for me, it was very similar. I go to the bar and I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this for like maybe 6 weeks. And these comics there were like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And I was like, but I have some good material. Like, I have this really good joke. And the premise of the joke was basically like, I had a wet dream about a girl that I knew in high school. And I was like, so I finally got to have sex with a girl that I had a crush on in high school. And then I was like, but then I felt weird because I only knew that girl when we were like 16. And I'm like, is that weird? And that's kind of the joke.
Yeah.
But whenever you make a joke where you're crazy nervous that involves basically pedophilia, it does not go well.
It's very nerve-wracking.
Exactly. So I went up there and I was like, this is going to kill. And then once I'm there, I'm like, fuck. And I bombed, but then my interview went well. They put me on a little date with Heidi, and that went pretty well.
Like a sketch?
Yeah, like a sketch date with Heidi, like a mock date. And that was pretty funny. And so in the end, I got a big joke book, and they were like, you did good. You redeemed yourself after your terrible set. And I was like, okay, perfect.
And you and Heidi together?
Yeah. No.
It's been, oh, no.
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 It was that, and then I think in the end of the sketch, she walks off. But she was nice. She was nice the whole time. So, I mean, it was fun. It was a good time. But I've been signing up a lot since and now they're on Netflix. You missed the Netflix by like, what, a week or two?
Yeah, I guess 2 weeks.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. But
I think they're going back to YouTube. I think
are they
it's,
really?
Yeah, I think it's just a couple specific episodes.
Oh, really?
That's what I was told.
Oh, let's look that up. Hold on. Let me see. If that's true, that's actually very interesting. Because I was talking with a buddy about this. Will Kill Tony go back to YouTube? Let's see here. 3 episodes back, yeah. It's part of a deal to bring 3 exclusive episodes to the streaming platform. The deal is rumored to be quiet. Let's see.
Yeah, because that just talks about ending the streak.
Yeah.
And it's a 3-episode deal.
Yeah. That's good, because I kind of was like, I don't know how I feel about...
People were mad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it's like people listen to this a lot more than they actually watch it. Like, people put this on Spotify or something, and they're working, they're driving across the country. They don't have a way of watching it.
Yeah.
So putting it exclusively on Netflix kind of kills a lot of viewership, I think. But
people don't like change.
Yeah. But I think it does kind of make it more of a show rather than a podcast when they have it on Netflix. Did you see the new episode yet?
No, I haven't.
They had like 2 bucket pulls, and then everybody else was like a big hitter.
Oh.
Like they had Jeff Ross and Shane Gillis and Adam Ray and all like the big hitters. But yeah, so.
And the reviews were what?
A lot of what I saw was like Ari Madi bombed, but I don't think he bombed. I watched it. I was like, that was pretty good. There was a lot of people saying that the audience was a little bit like, what's going on? Because everything was new.
Yeah.
So it's like, this all feels weird. It's not like the same vibe that they were used to. And even I think the hosts were like, this is weird. Like, we don't know what's going on. But I think that will kind of work its way out once they do it a couple more times. And so, we'll see. But anyway, so what else? So you golf, you do comedy. What else is going on with you?
That is it.
That's all? That's all you do?
That's all I do.
Dang.
Yeah.
What do you eat? Huh? What do you cook at home? What do you watch? What kind of media do you consume?
Like generally or recently?
Recently.
Watch a lot of stand-up. And what do I eat? I eat at work. I eat at the club, and then.
Damn, so you're just hot dogs and sandwiches out of a cooler.
This is a nice club. It's a nice.
What's the club again?
It's Spanish Oaks.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah, the nicest one I've probably been to was Avery Ranch.
Okay.
If you've been out there, yeah, and then I've done Falcon Head a lot. But those are like the only 2 like super higher end ones, and even they're not like crazy high end. You ever done the Austin? What do you call it? The ACC?
Have I played ACC?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Dang. Do you know someone, or do you have a membership, or?
No, I have a membership.
I know, right? I had to ask. I was like, I want to ask. Someone told me it's $140,000 a year.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Yeah.
No, not a year. That'd be the initiation fee. Oh, fuck. Yeah. So there's an initiation fee, and then you pay annual dues. But when you're a golf pro in the PGA of America, which is like the network of club pros, like they do the Ryder Cup, they do the PGA Championship. That's the PGA of America. These are the club pros and teaching pros. So we're in this like fraternity of sorts.
Yeah.
So I just ask, hey, can I come over there?
And they're just like, yeah.
I mean, there are exceptions. I can't.
Oh.
There are certain courses I can't do that at Augusta.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's pretty generous.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think's the highest one you can get into, just from being like, you know?
Well, I mean,
If you had to stretch it.
I mean, there are just so many nuances. Like a lot of times there are members at whatever club I'm working at or a club I used to work at that are also members at another club. So they'll bring me on. I've played a lot of courses through that. But I usually know the person if I'm asking. I know them through
You got
the network.
Some kind of network going on.
But I mean, I've gotten to play some very nice courses just by asking.
Yeah.
But you know, it's kind of our little family's really cringy. I'm not going to say that.
Your family?
Well, the PGA, like we just like, you know, help each other
Oh,
out.
the family, like the PGA family.
Yeah.
That is a tiny bit cringy, but it's okay.
But I didn't mean to say that. That's gross. But
when you're part of the PGA family,
ew,
like,
I hate myself. God.
like you wouldn't get, it's like a fraternity. Like,
It's a fraternity and then there's me.
yeah.
But yeah, I've been lucky enough to play a lot of nice courses through one way or the other being in that network.
Just being in the world. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool though. That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's one of the best parts of it.
Yeah, yeah. So you still enjoy it. That's what's good about that. Because it sounds like I would hate to get into golf, play golf, and then just be like, damn, I just hate golf. Like, did you play it all throughout high school and you were like, this is just what's it for me?
I played in high school and I really liked it. Then I played for a year in college and I hated it. And then I quit for a while. And then I was like, I miss it. And then I knew I wanted to work in some capacity around golf. So I tried a couple different avenues and then I landed on that route.
What'd you do when you quit?
College.
Oh, you were just going to school?
Yeah, I was just going to college.
What'd you go to school for?
I still don't know.
Still open-ended?
Yeah. Sociology?
Oh, nice.
No.
No?
Uh-uh.
You're not doing that?
What is that?
What did you want to do if you could do something other than...
Oh, I thought I wanted to be a lawyer because it sounded cool.
It does sound cool.
Right.
I actually wanted to be a lawyer for a bit. I thought it'd be fun.
Oh, I don't think anyone would say it's fun.
I always thought it would be fun to I just like kind of arguing with people. I think it's like a fun thing for me.
Sure.
So I always, when I saw the idea of a lawyer, I was like, oh man, to just like really dive into an argument in like a scientific way and to be like, I'm going to just find legal ways why you're wrong. That appealed to me in a weird way.
So I would liken, I like arguing. I want to be a lawyer too. I like golf. I want to be a teaching pro. You're not playing golf.
Yeah.
Play a little bit of golf.
But you're teaching.
Yeah, and you're not arguing. You're reading contracts.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The day in and day out reality.
That's
you know,
true.
it's just often. Sure, when you're 19, being a lawyer sounds cool. A lot of things sound cool. But what are you doing every day? Actually,
that is true. I thought doctor sounded cool. because I was really into House. You ever watch that show?
Yeah, I wouldn't let that one inspire a
Be
career
the driver.
plan. Yeah.
I was like, dude, doctors can do this. That's so cool. But then when you stop watching House and you start watching Grey's Anatomy, you're like, this looks way less cool.
Or if you stop watching TV and go into a hospital.
That's very not cool.
Yeah.
I had my first experience at the hospital like 2 years ago. I cracked my head open because I was walking this thing, and she just yoinked me. And I weigh like 140 pounds, so I'm not a lot to knock down. Hit my head on the concrete, cracked my skull open, and I had to go to the hospital.
Oh my God.
And they put me in the waiting list. And
That wasn't enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
Wow.
And I'm sitting in a chair, like watching people scream in their chair. And this one girl walked in. She goes up to the front desk person and she says, I took a lot of mushrooms. And they said, okay, can you sit down for a moment? And we're going to get to you. We're going to take care of you. And she goes, okay. She sits down. And I'm there for like maybe an hour before they call me in. And after 45 minutes, she gets up and walks back up to the front desk and she goes, I think I'm okay now. And then she leaves. I'll never forget. I'm like, what compelled her to drive all the way over? I guess the shrooms, but
Yes.
that's pretty interesting. But yeah, being in a hospital sounds terrible. All the time, nonstop, not fun. That's got to be one of the worst ones. But doctor and lawyer, sounds like you got Asian parents.
It does sound like I have Asian parents.
Yeah.
That was you that wanted to be a doctor. Yeah.
Sounds like I have Asian parents. My mom's Brazilian, so she I have the whole immigrant parent, like you have to do that, like you have to be successful kind of thing going though.
Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
By the way.
No, nobody ever guesses, but
Sure.
I am legally Latino. Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah. Pretty amazing. Yeah. We go there every year and I speak Portuguese.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So you're a cool guy. My God.
I don't know about all that, but definitely.
I've been to Rio.
Oh, that's cool. You go for a carnival?
I went for the 2016 Olympics. That sounds like I was in it.
Oh, nice. No, the family took me. The family took me to the Olympics.
The fam.
No, but yeah, the 2016 Olympics.
Yeah.
And how'd that go?
Well, it was golf's return to the Olympics after 106 years.
What?
Or something of that. Yeah. So that was cool.
Golf left the Olympics?
Yep. They took a heavy leave of absence.
Yeah.
But it was cool. They built a golf course for it.
Wow. Brazil does not know how to golf.
No, they were very concerned about what was going to happen to the land after the Olympics happened.
Like what? What were they thinking?
Well, to build a golf course, it's an incredible amount of money. And to not be able to utilize that as a resource after the Olympics happens was a big concern. I looked into it like a couple of years ago to see what happened. They're
like, we're just gonna build this course and then fucking nothing after
and
that.
then it turns into a field. Yeah,
That's kind of crazy.
I should check back in on the golf course. I was following the story of it for a while.
There's got to be some golfers in Rio that would make that thing profitable. I mean, you got to think, right? There's enough tourists going through that area that would be like, hey, let's go golf.
I don't know. There's a lot of nuance to maintaining and owning a golf course. And it's a lot to take on and if there's no one there to take it on, I think I think maybe got bought by a corporation of some sort that owns a lot of golf courses. I think, but that was what needed to happen probably in order to have it operate
The way they want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I golf a little bit too. Every time I go to Brazil and we try to get a golf anything, there's very little infrastructure built around it at all. Like they literally associate golf with like white people. They're like, we don't even do that
This is for you.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you must be American. Like, as soon as we bring it up, they're like, you're not from here because there's so few golfers in the area.
Yeah.
What I really wanted to do was go to New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the dream. You ever been there?
No.
Man, because golfing out there sounds crazy fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was looking up some photos of some of the courses, and it's just like, oh, the views and the fucking plane ride would suck so bad, though, is really the biggest downside. But she's dreaming. Mina! She's barking in her sleep. But, yeah.
Yeah, New Zealand that's a good one.
That's a high up there on the bucket list.
Yeah.
If you're going to go somewhere to golf anywhere else, don't say Scotland.
I can't, how do I not say Scotland? How do I not?
Anywhere else. What else has like a really cool golf infrastructure?
America.
Yeah,
America is fantastic golf.
it's true. You been to Florida and golfed?
You know, I haven't done a lot of Florida golf, but I've done almost everything in California.
So you lived there for a bit, you said.
Yeah, I lived there for 8 years.
Why?
Initially for a job and then kept being for a job for the most part.
What'd you do?
Golf pro.
Oh, another golf pro job. Yeah. And then you got one here and you were like, I'm going to go there. That sounds better.
Yeah, I went to a wedding here and I was like, oh, Austin is really cool.
Oh, nice.
So I kept an eye out for a job and then I saw one at Spanish Oaks and I'd heard of it. And someone I interned with at Pebble Beach, he ended up out here working at the club I'm at now. And I was like, hey, what's it like? And he was like, it's great. You'd love it. And that was that. Yeah, and it's been great.
That's cool. Yeah, I've been here, like I said, 20 years. And it's interesting to see all the people come here and be like, this town is so cool. And I'm like, I don't really know anything else.
20 years. That's why you have a house?
Yeah, I bought, yeah, right. I bought in 2019. I got really lucky. So, like I said, I had a corporate job before this. I did that out of college, and I like I said, I sold mortgages. Did pretty good, and I was like, all right, my family lives in this neighborhood.
No
like
kidding.
my mom and dad.
That's so nice.
And they were like, you should just buy a home, like buy one in this neighborhood. And I was like, all right. So I did it because I used to work at the building up there, and I wanted to walk to work. And then right when I bought the house and closed, COVID happened. And they were like, everyone work from home. And then during COVID, I quit my job. And then I started working independently, so I didn't even get a chance to walk to my...
I'm really sorry you didn't get a chance to walk to work.
Yeah. I really wanted to. I was like, this is going to be so cool. But I guess I kind of did because I was out of college living with my parents when that happened.
You can walk somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot of places to walk to. I don't know if you drove up in here. There's not a whole lot of places.
That's not the place for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of cool spots around here, except for the concourse. You ever go to shows?
No.
No? Like big music venues or anything?
The way you said that made me feel like that was the name of the place.
It's the name of a venue. It's like a big warehouse.
It's called Shows?
No, it's called the Concourse.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
No.
What, like outdoor music?
They do a lot of like electronic music. They do a lot of just random shows. But they're all right over there. And then there's the racetrack, Formula One racetrack.
Okay, I've been there.
Yeah. I was actually there dropping someone off the other day. It's pretty cool to go there, like on a non-event.
You dropped someone off?
Yeah, he was.
What were they up to?
He was a comic, and he got a gig doing something like driving rich people around Austin for the week. And I just dropped him off. He was visiting in town, and I was like, "You can stay with me." And he's like,
"What is the job description for that?"
Dude, I think it's just he knew a guy. When he told me, I was like, how did you get that gig? And he's like, I don't know, I just knew a guy. And they were like, you want to drive people around for $800 a day? And he was like, fuck yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Good for him.
But yeah, another comic. He's out of New York. His name is Mike Early. Shout out. But, yeah. So back to comedy. What was your first open mic set like? Do you remember it?
You might have been there for it.
Was it at the Creek?
That had to. That was probably it.
I think I did see it.
If you saw me there,
I'm pretty sure I saw you at Creek and Cave. I'm pretty sure I had seen you before.
that was probably it.
Okay. Could have been worse.
You remember it?
No.
Oh God.
Don't remember it.
Could have been worse. I don't know.
Do you remember it being bad or it being good?
It was weird. I saw like a couple people before me. I thought he was really funny. Nobody laughing, nobody paying attention.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well.
Was that your first time at a comedy club, or have you like lurked around before and just kind of scouted it out?
No, that was probably it.
That's a good move. Yeah. That's what I did.
How did it go? Probably. I don't think anyone was listening.
Yeah.
So.
I remember listening. I remember being like, okay. But I think you mentioned it was your first time.
Okay.
So, I mean, when you hear that, it's kind of like, all right.
It was,
you know, like, there you go.
Yeah.
Get in there.
God, I don't know. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
And then you get off stage and
What were your thoughts after? Yeah. What'd you think?
I thought, what do I do? What do I do? I was like, if I just, like, I hadn't told anyone I was doing this. I was like, I could just pretend it never happened.
Oh, so it was bad. When you left, you were like, fuck.
I mean, there were like 10 people scattered around a 500 square foot room.
Yeah.
Like on their phones.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like, what am I doing?
But you went back.
I did go back.
Something called.
Oh, that's a bit profound.
Something in you was like, I need to experience that again. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It's got to be something like that, though, right? Like, there's something, like, because you get off the stage and you're like, fuck.
I think there were like a couple people that came up to me the following week. I think I was in line, or 2 or 3 weeks later or something. I was in line to sign up for Kill Tony, and I had two people come up to me that were like, I was there at the Creek. It was your first time. I think you did a good job.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't think.
Nobody's ever done that to me. So that's good. Never in my life has anyone done that to me.
Well, you only get one time for someone to say, hey, I think I saw you on your doing it on your first time.
That's true.
And so I was like, okay, I mean, I don't know.
So that brought you back, was the reassurance, the validation.
Yeah, because it's just like weird. You get off stage and it's like, I guess I'm head to my car.
Yeah.
So
I guess I leave now.
Yeah, just gonna like, get some gas and head home.
That's always, especially after the midnight one, if that's the one that you did, or if you did the 6 p.m. one.
No, it was 6 p.m.
That one.
Very sad.
The 6 p.m. one is rough because it's all comics.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of just like, all right. Like they're clocking in for the day, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's a tough one. And then when you bomb and leave, it's just like, all right, I guess that's it then. It is a weird moment.
Yeah. And I guess it was helpful that the guy I saw like a couple people before me, I thought he was very funny and nobody cared. Nobody's paying attention. So I was like, all right, whatever. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, let's,
move on, I guess.
If you're mildly self-aware, you can, even in a room full of nobody, you can still get a sense of like maybe moments that are dragging or things that wouldn't quite hit.
Yeah, yeah. But it's interesting seeing someone do very well in one of those open mics because you kind of have this, like you said, a moment of like, oh, that's really good, but nobody's reacting. And it's kind of sad to be
I hate it.
Is that guy going to ever know?
I hate it.
Yeah. It is kind of sad.
No, if I ever see someone who's set that I really like and they're just not getting any attention span, I always make sure to go up to them and tell them that, like, I thought you were great.
That's
I
good.
liked this joke. I liked that joke.
That is a good thing to do. Because it is tough to just go up there and flop and then be like, well, I guess I suck. But it's worse in front of like an audience.
Yeah.
Because that's rough. I got on the Mothership open mic for the first time on Monday.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And that was
my friend Matt was on it. Matt and David
Matt
Rivera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he does Narbar a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him casually. And then David Stern.
He was if I'm remembering the list right, he was the first guy.
Oh, David Gamble.
Gamble.
I'm actually talking to him. I want to talk to him on this podcast on Friday, next Friday. But he's cool. I like that guy.
Very nice.
He did well, but man, he had a rough spot because he was number one.
Yeah.
And so he goes up. They're still seating people. The host kind of roasted the shit out of all of us.
Oh, God.
He was like, you're going to be watching psychotic, ranting, homeless, deranged, schizophrenic comics.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's the people we're in line with.
Yes. And he's like, and they're just going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have to just sit through it. Here's David Gamble. It's like, damn, dude. What a fucking rough entrance. And then they're still seating people. So everybody was already like, okay. But yeah, I think he went first. I went fourth. And I kind of didn't do well either. I wouldn't say a bomb, but it wasn't great.
It was a full room, people paying attention?
It was pretty packed. They kind of filled it up. And they usually don't do that, is what I've heard.
Oh.
So I was like, well, you know. And then it's the same feeling every time. Once you just don't do well and they're like, all right, you have to leave now. And then you just walk out. And then you're just standing in the street like, I guess I go home. It's the same feeling. It's a weird experience to have like such a massive rush. It's just like Kill Tony. You have that huge rush and then you're just in an alley.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
Yeah, they let you out the back and you're in a parking lot.
They're like, hey, great having you. And then you're just like...
You're like, hello? You're outside.
Not even a goodie bag, like you went to the dentist or something, just fucking nothing. You're just standing out there with
Yeah,
a
there's
book.
like a guy sleeping on the ground. They let you out right there.
There was a couple guys drinking on a stoop, and they were like, how'd you do, man? And I was like, I think I did good. And they were like, that's good, man, that's good. It's fucking sick.
I know, I probably know that guy.
Yeah, really?
But at this point, yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. Were they there when you saw them when you walked out?
Oh, I don't really know. I was just messing with you, sorry.
It's okay.
I just spend a lot of time on 6th Street.
Yeah, yeah. Is that where you go after work now? You just go right to 6th and start making it happen?
A lot of the time, yeah. Sunday last night.
And you only doing Narbar. You got to go. You ever been out on Wednesday? Wednesday is usually like my day. I go to Kick Butt Coffee. I go to Lucky Duck.
I don't know what I'm doing. So I don't know. I one of my friends is at Lucky Duck right now. He's told me that I should go out there. I've never been there.
What's his name?
His name's Jeremiah.
Let me pull.
He has tattoos all over his face. You'd know him.
Oh, is he the guy that dresses real nice?
Yeah.
He's always wearing like a Colombian cocaine dealer outfit?
Yes.
Yeah, I do know that guy. I don't know him well, but I always am like, that guy just dresses so well, you know?
He's a character.
So he went to Lucky Duck. I have seen him there.
Okay.
That's a big one. Like, I think pretty much most comics in the city like run through there in the night because it's just, they start at like 8.
Okay.
And then they go till 2. So everybody just finds their moment to like, I'll swing by Lucky Duck and they write their name in and they make it happen. And then another one is, what's another good? Like I said, Kick Butt Coffee I like. It's a coffee shop up north. Mm-hmm. And then I do a lot of the Creek ones. It sounds like you're traumatized by those.
Yes.
Yeah, the Creek ones are rough, but I think they build character.
No, I don't need any more character. I'm good.
That's funny.
But yeah, I've heard Kick Butt Coffee and Cap City, and yeah.
Oh, do you sign up for the online ones?
I don't know. I've just like heard that I should go there.
You should. There's an online sign up for the Cap City Comedy Creek. There's an actual legitimate open mic at Creek where you can sign up and they have actual human beings sitting at 8 p.m. And that one's a good one.
What day?
Sunday.
Oh.
So you can do that one, but you just sign up online. It's pretty easy. Buzzmill's another one. You can sign up online. But yeah, you should go to other ones.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Next week.
For sure.
Right? Because I missed it already.
Do you want a cookie?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. So what else is going on in Annie's life?
I'm telling you very little. Very little.
You're holding back.
No, I'm really not. I'm just trying to get better at comedy. That's all I care about.
How do you write?
Usually I'll think of little bits or maybe like a potential premise and write it down in my phone. And then I'll sit down and try to build on it. And then, I don't think this is particularly original, but, and then see if any of, once I've built up a premise enough, see how much I can get out of it, and then find something that I can add it to that I can get an easy segue. But that's kind of it's kind of what I've been doing. But sometimes I have nothing, and I open up my laptop and I just hope. Mm-hmm.
That something's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Something's gonna spill out of you? What I normally do is I have like, it's the same thing. I'll just like think of something throughout the day, and then I want to write that down. But I do a lot of like videos. Like videos is like a big piece of how I started. Mm-hmm. So what I'll do is I'll do a video where I film myself talking about something, and then I try to post it every night on TikTok is how I work. Because TikTok, I don't really care about anything because like it's just like it's not even a real social media source for me. So I'll just post it, and anything that does halfway decent, I'm like, that could be a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I need a place to like fail.
What's the last thing you wrote down?
That's a good question. Oh. It was actually, so this is why I like doing the podcast, is because I was having a conversation with a guy yesterday, and he was talking about an overnight baker.
A what?
Overnight baker. You ever heard of this?
These are like the bagel people that get in at 3 a.m.?
Yes.
I didn't know they had a name.
They do. They're called overnight bakers. And I am an idiot. So when I heard overnight baker, I was like, is this a baker who's trying to like corner the holy shit, I need a cake at 8 a.m. or I'm fucked market?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's a bit there of like
emergency cakes.
Yeah, emergency cake.
That's a market.
Yeah. And it's like where do I go to get a cake now? And the overnight baker's like, I'm there.
I don't know if that's a joke. That's a business.
It is a business, but I think there's a joke in the sense of like, you could be a shitty baker and just be like, I'll just be the overnight guy. Yeah. And then people will be like, well, it wasn't a good cake, but fuck, it was on time.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think you take that joke and you start a business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That could be just what I do.
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought it was. I was like, overnight baker, cakes in a pinch would be a great name for the place. A cake in a pinch.
If that's not already a thing, I'm telling you, like, get after it.
You'd have so many like brides calling it.
No, you'd only have men.
Really?
Saying, I forgot something.
That is a punchline. Holy shit.
It's all yours.
That is so good. Because then I always thought like, oh, it'd be people going, we forgot that like, we dropped the cake or something. And it's like, no, it's going to be guys going, holy fuck.
Yep.
I forgot. That's hilarious. That is actually, That's the joke. That is the joke.
There you go.
That's fucking funny. Only a girl could have told me how that ends.
I see things.
That's good. That's good. But that's the last one I wrote, is because I thought that was hilarious, an overnight baker. And then the one after that, I think I try to do a lot of like stories from my life is another one I try to do.
Sure.
Where I try to talk about something that I've experienced and make it funny. Because I think that's always kind of, it's never a premise that someone else is going to have.
Right.
It's like, it's always unique to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that's how I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best ways.
It's a way.
It's a way.
There's no wrong way. Another guy here was talking about how he writes everything down in notebooks. Like he just scribbles like a maniac in a notebook nonstop.
Yeah.
You ever heard of, you ever seen the butterfly effect?
Yeah.
It's like that, when he's just like scribbling in his notebook nonstop, trying to generate some kind of...
Oh, so these
idea.
are just filler words, and then at some point there'll be a real sentence?
So, you ever done the exercise where like you sit down and you just write, and you just keep writing, and you don't stop, and then eventually you'll enter into like... It's like a state of mind where everything on your mind is just spilling out into the paper. It's a phenomenon. I forgot what it's called. Hold on, let me look this up. Because it is a actual phenomenon. Writing
This is like a creative writing technique?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's see. Yeah, free writing. That's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, person writes continuously for a set period of time with literary concern for rhetoric, conventions, mechanics. So you just kind of just go and then just spill into the paper, and the only goal is to just put more. And then eventually you'll see something that's like, oh, that was a thought. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's a bit psychotic for me, so I'm not quite in that level.
It's very like Huberman.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. What a reference. But yeah, it's like that. But I feel like that's a bit much. It reminds me of the Joker from Batman. Have you seen how they released his notebook?
God, no.
Yeah. Heath Ledger.
I know him.
Yeah. They released his notebook, and it was like his scribblings of when he was working on the role.
Interesting.
And it's just all free writing. It's just him going, ha, 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 like being insane and psychotic. And it was him just pouring himself into the paper. It's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's a method. People do it. So.
Maybe I'll give it a go.
Yeah, give it a try.
You know, when I'm just staring out the window waiting for a thought.
But you're just doing it on your phone. Like you just do your phone app?
And then I open up my laptop when I want to like expand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Totally. It's one of the coolest things.
Yeah, but everyone has their own way, so. But it is tough still to write. You ever feel like you get into a moment where you're like, damn, I really want to think of something right now, but I just can't?
Every day.
Yeah.
All day.
And then you end up writing something shitty.
Well, I had to stop trying to think of stuff at work because I was like doing a bad job.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You got called out?
It was clear that I was distracted.
Oh, what'd they say?
Oh, just that in so many words. And just like
Annie, you're riffing too much with the 8-year-olds.
I do riff with the 8-year-olds.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What a great audience, though.
Oh yeah.
Because they'll just sit there and be like, dude, Annie's awesome.
I mean, I joke around at work almost exclusively.
Have they seen your Kill Tony?
They have now. Yeah. I get emails.
You get emails. You should charter the club. You should get, because you probably brought in some customers that are like, I want to train with Annie. Has that happened?
No, these are people that have exclusive membership. They go through like a whole process to become members. They're not like, I saw Annie on Instagram and I'd like to be a member here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Dang.
It's a private club.
Yeah. Shit. But if you got someone to sign up, you should get like a commission check or something to be like, I mean, I did kind of bring them in.
God, I promise you, nobody is joining this club because I work there. That's incredibly flattering, though.
They probably would see the, I mean, what do you guys charge?
For what?
For a membership?
I don't think I can share that.
Oh, you can't? Oh, what? It's like the NSA?
I mean, it's just not a good idea.
Oh.
I just put it in that category.
Because it's so expensive? Am I putting you on the spot on this? Oh, no.
It's just not, it's just, I don't know. It's tacky.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I don't think I'm cool because I'm not sharing that.
No, that's fine. You don't have to share it. It's all good.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. Spanish Oaks is a nice golf course.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could just walk in and ask, though, right? And just be like...
No, there's security.
So if I walk into Spanish Oaks...
You can't just walk in.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So it's as exclusive as ACC?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dang. So who are you teaching? These are like rich people's kids then?
Uh-huh.
Like super rich?
Uh-huh.
And are they like boys and girls?
Mm-hmm.
And you're their first introduction to, I'm going to make you a fucking star.
No. It's just like nobody's sending their kid to me because they want them to end up on tour. I mean, potentially, but it's just like I'm an extracurricular activity. You know, go to golf class after school.
You're an elective.
Yeah.
That sounds bad. But that's good. I mean, dang. Have you had any crazy stories of kids doing something insane and you're like, dude, that was nuts?
You know, not really. These are very well-behaved kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Asian parents?
Is Austin.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Mostly white parents.
But you know, no, I think about all the time. I'm like, how come I can't think of anything to write about that's work related? Because the funny stuff is so like, you really have to be. You
have to be there.
You have to know about this or know about that, and it's just like, no, it's all very normal. It's all very normal and not entertaining.
There's got to be some characters that walk in though that everyone's like, oh, here comes Ralph.
There are a few.
Yeah.
But nothing that translates into material, which is disappointing.
What about playing against guys who think they're going to be better than you? That's got to be something.
It's just overdone.
But it's so personal that it must be good. There must be some moments where
it's just
like,
the same.
Oh.
It's just it's all very familiar, you know? Like there has to be some sort of different spin on it, or I mean, the guy that's surprised that, you know, he sees a girl teeing off in front of him and he like rolls his eyes and he's like, oh, God. And then they see me hit the ball and they're like, oh, okay, we're fine.
And they're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the gist of it.
Yeah.
But
you've never leaned into it and been like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Like, am I hustling people?
Yeah, you could do that.
I don't think that'd be like good for my career.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
But it would make a good story. This one guy thought he had me, and then I fucking just destroyed him in the back nine. I used to play pool a lot, and people would do that a lot in pool.
That's what it's always pool.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because pool it's not classy. You know what I mean? I think golf has the luxury of being classy, so you can't, you know what I mean? Like, it's not within the classiness to just hustle the shit out of someone, although they're all golf hustlers, I'm assuming. But I think with pool, it's like, you know, in a bar, you're never going to see this guy again. We're both in just a bar that anybody can be in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people get hustled all the time. A buddy of mine and me, who were both really good pool players, we would hang out at a bar in San Marcos called Zelix, and they had a pool table, and their target demographic to play against was frat guys who grew up with a pool table in their house because they are so confident that they're going to win. And they were like, my dad had a fucking pool table. Like, I'm going to roast you guys. Let's play for $20. That was like always the target, you know? Because then we're like, we're going to destroy these guys.
So you would just hang out there waiting for frat guys?
Pretty much. And they'd walk
Incredible.
up and put their quarters on the table.
Quarters? How was it 50 years ago?
Well, when you're in a pool table at a bar, it's usually quarters, like $1.
Oh, that wasn't the bet.
No.
Got
it. No.
I'll play you for
50
a couple
cents.
nickels. I'll play you for a couple nickels.
No, it's usually like for a drink or for $20 or something like that. Every now and then you get a crazy older guy who's like, but he's a really high level hustler, and he's like, let's play for like 100, 200. Or some guys are crazy. They play for like $20. $20 a ball is a big one. So for every ball you make, it's $20.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So if you sweep the other person and they never make a ball, then you make a really good amount of money. But if it's even, neck and neck, and then you make the 8-ball, then you only make $20. You see?
Yeah.
But I don't know if anything like that is happening in golf. I just don't think it translates because of the classiness of golf.
And also to like spend 5 hours getting destroyed by someone else. You know, if you're getting destroyed in pool, you're just simply watching someone beat you, and then it's over.
Yeah. In golf, you have to participate in your destruction. That's a good point. Yeah, pool is, if you're losing, you're not playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you left that life behind you, huh?
I did. I really liked pool, but there's really no end game. You know what I mean? Like,
I sure don't.
it's like, like, what do you do with a pool career?
I don't know.
You don't.
I figured you would tell me.
I mean, you can travel the world and do competitions and shit, but it's like,
Nobody that does that is like a normal, okay guy.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's not a normal guy.
Do you think normal guys do golf tours?
Sure.
Really?
Or like play on the PGA Tour,
Yeah.
relatively speaking. Yeah.
What's the disconnect between that and pool, in your eyes?
I think it's the environment. Stark contrast of environment. I mean, to spend all your time in a dark bar with drunk people. I would imagine after hours and hours, like hundreds of hours, like put you not in a good place.
It isn't good, no. I think because it definitely makes you realize, like, wow, I'm hanging out around alcoholics, drug dealers,
Yeah.
and then there's the pool table that's right next to it. That's honestly the main reason why I left, is
Sure.
because there's a lot of drugs involved, and it's like, I'm not involved in that life.
So you
know?
said comedy now.
Well, comedy. That's a great point, man. That is a great point. Comedy is, you can just get in and get out. You know what I mean? Like, you're in there, you do your thing, and then you leave. But pool, I think you keep going. Like, you're there all night.
Oh.
You know? Like, you have to play the game nonstop. You're just going. But with comedy, like, you could not talk to anybody the entire time. I guess you could do that with pool. I don't know. Now I feel like I'm being introspective about why I decided to do it. Comedy again. Because there is a lot of drugs in comedy.
You want to unpack it?
We can. Why did I do it?
Yeah. Why'd you do it?
Oh man. I went into comedy because I always wanted to do comedy. I've been writing notes in my phone, like jokes and shit, for years, like 10 years. Like when I first started, my notebook and my phone was filled with ideas.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I had a backlog of shit. And I go through it and I'm like, a lot of this is garbage.
Sure.
But some of them I'm like, this is a banger. And I'm like, and I would tell that joke in the shower for years, like pretending I'm looking at an audience. And then I turned 30 and I was like, I got to do it or I'm going to fucking die and never do it. That would suck.
Yeah.
So I did it. And that was more of an emotional impact for me. Pool is not really, there's no emotional impact in pool. It's just fucking satisfying hitting that ball in the right way. You know what I mean? There's no real emotion
I know
there.
that you're just saying, but God, I could not know less.
I think I just say a lot.
I figured it was rhetorical,
Yeah.
but I just wanted you to know.
That I say it a lot?
No, that
That you don't know?
That I don't. God, I really don't.
You ever play pool?
Like in my friend's basement in high school.
But that's it.
I think it ended there, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I had a couple good jokes that I was always like, I wanted to do that. A good one I posted it online and it did really well, and that was like really satisfying, and I was like, I gotta try this because someone commented it on, and they were like, you got to do that on stage. And the joke is basically, I've only seen my dad cry twice, and the first time was 9/11. I remember waking up and he was on the couch and he was crying, and I was like, oh. And the second time I saw my dad cry, he was backing out of the garage and he hits my mom's car on the way out, and we get out and we look at the damage, and he starts crying. And it fucked me up because it made me like think twice about getting married, because I was like, damn, to him, this was as bad as 9/11.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's a true
Stop.
story. That's a true story.
Your mom's terrifying?
Yeah, that's what you get out of the story.
Absolutely.
But yeah, she's a scary lady.
Jesus.
Yeah. But I think that's a funny story to tell.
That
to be
is.
like, yeah, that is a good reason why you should avoid that. Wow. But yeah, I got a scary mom. I'll say it. She watches this. I'm sorry, Mom. But she's just a little bit, she's Latina. She's Brazilian. So she's very like in your face. You got to do this. You got to do that.
Yeah.
Throw the sandal.
That really happens?
She used to use a belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's American.
That is American.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes you get, did you get hit?
She's here now.
Yeah, she's here.
There we go.
Did you get hit as a kid?
No.
No? Were your parents like super nice?
They're very nice.
Yeah.
Where
are they from?
My dad's from New York and my mom is from El Paso.
Just a nice, good old suburban white family.
I guess, yeah.
Nothing crazy?
Nothing crazy.
Damn.
No.
Damn.
I know.
I had a backlog of stuff about my parents and my family. I post a lot of them. I have a couple about like what it was like growing up and just things that I experienced. But I mean, I feel like it's nothing crazy. It's just stuff that most people experience, but I just wrote it all down. You know what I mean? I had that log in my phone of like everything, which I guess I'm very fortunate for. You were like, dang, that's really, wish I had that. But
yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh.
But there's still like a sea of just dog shit on there too.
That's normal.
Yeah. Like I think I was reading one the other day. I was trying to go through all my stuff and I saw one and it was like, coming in a deep voice. And I was like, why did I write this? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? What was going on that day?
What's funny is you thought there's something here at some point.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm going to write this down.
Yeah. And it was like, I don't know where that goes. I have no idea what that is.
No, I certainly don't know either.
Do you have any of those?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean,
what's the last one you wrote down that you're like, what the fuck?
I'd have to get my phone.
Go get your phone. Where is it? Oh. I thought you had your phone on you. Sorry. Just hear some of these, see what's up.
See what's going on. Okay.
man, you look like I just asked you to dissect a frog. Some of the crazier things on your phone. Just one of the jokes you're just like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, the stuff up top is almost ready to be something. So let me go down here.
Yeah, get the dirt, the grime. She's covering her mouth. I love it. She's like, oh no, that's horrendous.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that it's just not going to go anywhere. It's not like garbage.
Right.
I feel like it's only garbage if I've like really played it out, and it's like, like this isn't funny at all. But I wrote, how come when you show your hairdresser a picture of the haircut that you want, the person is always gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't know where that goes.
Don't know where to go
with that. That wouldn't get a laugh. I don't. It's just sitting here.
I guess it almost implies that you feel like you're not. Is kind of where that goes.
Well,
it's like make me like that.
Right. You think, well,
make me this.
Yeah.
I want that.
I remember one time in high school where I just had this revelation. There was this girl that I thought was so cool, so perfect, and she did her hair in this way where she parted her hair like a certain way and then put it in a ponytail. And I thought that if I did that,
everything would be okay.
Well, let's go. New life.
Everything would make sense.
Everything's going to be okay. And then I was like, she's not really cool because she wears her hair like that. She's really cool and she wears her hair like that.
What does she do now?
Oh, she's a stay-at-home mom.
Ah, full circle. Pyramid scheme. That's hilarious.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you ever look back at people from high school that you kind of were like, you put them on a pedestal and then you see them now and you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Was that one of them? That girl there?
Yeah, I think a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, it's funny being like, how old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay, I'm 33, and I feel like we're like the first generation to, like, we don't need a 15-year reunion. We know what everyone's doing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
that's a bit too, probably.
Maybe
that could be something.
Yeah, but being able to see everyone's curated steps of how they've progressed since the last time I saw them, I don't know. It just, it's kind of nice, because otherwise you just like, if people were cool in high school, you assume they're doing cool stuff now and whatever. You don't really, I don't know. Like you think about.
And then they're not.
Or
they're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Still a little young for that.
Yeah. There's a couple people in my high school I knew that died. And I'm like, oh shit, that guy died.
And were they the least surprising?
A couple of them I was like, I could have clocked that from a mile away.
Yeah.
And then there was a few that was like, car crash.
Oh.
A couple fentanyl. There was a couple of those where it was like, dang, that guy died from fentanyl. So definitely have seen that happen.
Yeah.
But there's the people that died earlier on, I feel like I could have guessed those people. But now when there's a death, it's almost like, oh shit. Because even in your 30s and you're not dying to drugs, it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you're in your 20s and you're dying, it's like, it's either drugs or you did something stupid. you know?
No, and what's wild is the people's Facebooks that are still up that are dead. Yeah. And then there's people that don't know. They're like, happy birthday, man. You still working at Liberty Mutual?
That's sad.
We're the first to like really.
You still working at Liberty Mutual is insane. I've seen, this is serious though. A lot of moms like take over the kids' Facebook and they do like a little memorial with it. That's usually what happens with those Facebooks, is what I've seen.
Yeah, it's like a thing.
Yeah. But I think that's weird because it's like, I don't know.
I think it's because moms don't know how to deactivate a Facebook page. There's just no chance.
They're just sitting there like, we got to do something with it.
No, I'm so serious. I'm so serious right now. My mom doesn't know how to press undo on Microsoft Word. She goes into full panic.
Yeah.
And then my dad has to step in.
Do they still have cable?
They have probably.
And they just never knew how to install anything else?
No, my dad knows, but like my mom, she would not know.
Oh,
it.
she's just completely.
You know, I could see my mom taking over for my Facebook page if something happens to me.
How would they get the password?
I don't know. How is anyone else getting the password?
I don't know either. I think you can contact Facebook. I think someone mentioned this actually. There's an entire division at Facebook designed for this. For dead people where the relatives can contact them and be like, can we get access?
I wonder how soon into Facebook's.
That's a good look up.
When they were like, we needed a department for this.
Yeah. Help dead relatives with dead people. Let's see what that comes up with. Yeah, here we go.
They got a whole team.
Oh, look at this. On Facebook, exactly. If Facebook is made aware that a person has passed away, it's our policy to memorialize.
And they have clip art.
That's great. Dude, Facebook is a graveyard. It's a fucking graveyard. Mm-hmm. This is what graveyards are going to be in the future. It's just going to be like your social media account. Why take up a piece of real estate when you could just throw it on a digital?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck. I said, you know what I mean again. I do say that a lot.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to know when you were talking about pool that
you don't know
that I wasn't going to. Yeah.
But this is actually kind of scary.
It is.
That is what it's going to turn into. It's just going to be a bunch of tombstones. But eventually you're going to get to the point where you can't search anybody's name because everybody you search, it's just going to pull up a sea of fucking dead people. And then you're going to have to filter like alive or dead.
You're already annoyed.
I am annoyed by that. Did you mean dead person? Or the actual live people? Like, which one did you want? It's going to be like, oh my God, I got to go through this now.
I think they'll hash it all out.
They'll probably will, but it's going to be a graveyard. That's kind of fucked up. But I don't know. Just cremate me. I don't need a fucking Facebook graveyard. Instagram graveyard, X graveyard. You're going to have one for every single one, too.
Yeah, for all your accounts.
YouTube graveyard.
There probably will be something.
Probably exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's going to be 2010. A big thing that I always think about is people in the future are going to study history through our fucking TikToks and YouTube videos, and they're going to be like, look at this video. This was a guy doing a TikTok dance that got 90 million views. It's a piece of history. It was the most, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of crazy to think? And then people are still writing books now, like anyone's going to give a shit in 100 years. I feel like they're all going to care about the videos.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, how cool it would be if we had videos of,
people from 200
the
years
Civil
ago.
War.
Yeah, but we only have pictures. Yeah. The pictures are so disappointing, too.
And they're so dramatic.
Yeah. You think they were talking about this 200 years ago? They were like, man, they're going to have pictures of us 200 years from now. And then back then they had paintings. You had to go to an artist to draw you. you know, to go
Yeah.
200 years further back, 1600s.
Yeah.
That is strange.
No, you don't really think about anyone from that far back having casual conversations about anything.
Yeah.
Everything is profound.
Yeah.
Everything's an announcement on a hill. Mm-hmm. They're just doing stuff like that all day.
You remember the 99 thesis? Martin Luther? You remember that guy?
No.
He went into a church and he stapled on the church wall 99 problems I have with the Catholic Church. And that was like, I went viral for the day. Everybody was like, oh shit, Martin Luther went on the church wall, the thing that everybody goes to every Sunday, and put up a thing about just him bitching about what he hated about it. And it was like, it went crazy. It was the first viral moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there was no anything else. It was like, you go to church. That's where everybody went. And so he did the first thing that was like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And back then it was super profound and awesome. But now that the version of that is, you know, fucking Kill Tony, fucking Instagram, these TikTok videos. You just go up there and you say something so true that everybody's like, yeah, that's good, you know? But we don't think about how impactful those same moments were in the past with, you know, people that lived back then.
Yeah, I think there's a overflow of very much not impactful content. Like more than anyone could ever need.
Yeah. We are creating a sea of garbage.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that they're never going to run out of content to explore our age. You know what I mean? In 500 years, when they look at our time now, they're going to be like, we know all about them because they wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know? But 500 years ago, it's like we have one piece of paper that survived and we know a little bit because of this.
Right.
You know? We have like a small window. And even then, like the Rosetta Stone, when we cracked the code for the Egyptians,
Yeah.
even when we did all that, it was just like they're talking about taxes and they're making poop jokes. It was very like, wow, that sounds like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think when you think about history, you just like by default assume it's profound.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just like a bunch of guys hanging out too.
Fucking around,
Yeah.
doing nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But every now and then something cool happens and it's like, oh shit. Like the big thing back then was war too. Like if you wanted to be famous, you had to go to war.
Yeah.
And then you would be like, okay, I became famous through my actions in war. Where now it's like you have to do something on camera, which seems so lame compared to that. But it's like our modern...
Well, would you rather make your mortgage videos or go to war?
Well, in context, sometimes war is like, it's all or nothing. Like, that's kind of look, war now, obviously, no. The answer is no, I don't want to go to war. I don't want to do that.
That's good.
But in the moment, if that's the only option, it's like, I gotta, you know? You know what I'm saying?
I think I don't have that calling inside of me, perhaps.
If, like, World War II...
No one would ask me. Nobody would ever ask me to go to war.
True, because you are a woman.
Yeah.
If you were a man in 1942...
I still don't think they'd ask me.
You don't... even... Okay, you were a well-fit 21-year-old man ready for service. You would be like, I gotta go to war, right? There's a part of you that's like, this is my duty.
Am I still me? I still have my brain?
You're you, but you're you, but you're a guy.
I still don't think I'm going.
You still don't think you're gonna go?
No, I don't think I'm
You're gonna try to dodge, or you're gonna try to get out of it. A part of me would be like, damn, I think I gotta go. I think I have to do this.
That's admirable.
Really? Because now I feel stupid.
No. I think that's the right thing to do, right?
I think so. I think it's the right thing to do. But I don't want to be the stupid guy who's like, put me in the war, coach. But at the same time, I think it's like, you gotta do it. I mean, this is the event. We're fighting for the world right now. You know what I mean? So there's a piece of me that's like, I can't just be at home being an overnight baker. I gotta fucking get in there.
I don't passing up. If that involved passing up the overnight baker job, that's a huge mistake.
That's a tough pass.
That's a huge mistake.
Tough pass.
Yeah.
Tough pass.
No, I'm telling you, you got something there.
Yeah.
100%. That's so good.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. You good on water?
Yes.
How you feeling? You good on time?
I don't know what time it is.
It's we're about an hour 25 in. We can keep going if you want, if you're feeling good.
Whatever you want.
I'm good. I'm still good. What's a controversial take you got?
Oh, no.
Yeah. You said you love to argue.
I know you said that.
I thought you agreed.
No.
No?
Controversial take.
Something that you're just like, I'm going to fucking die on this hill. You know what I mean? Milk before cereal.
Oh, like that? One of those?
No, not that cheesy.
You're going to pineapple on pizza me?
No, well, that's a cheesy one too.
Oh, good God.
Not that cheesy.
Okay.
But something, that's like, oh, interesting. You know what I mean? Something that gets people turning their heads. You could even make it political. I love Trump. I hate Biden. I love Biden. I love Trump.
Controversial take. Controversial.
Dogs or cats?
Both.
Come on, man. Disagree with me. Dogs. Okay, so dogs and cats. What else is a good one? Oof.
What are good pets?
No, good divisions in people. That people are like, I'm either here or I'm here. A good one I talked to yesterday, the guy was Chappelle Show versus Key and Peele. You ever watch those shows?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Both.
You're like, they're equally so good.
This is like how to be a good guest.
Yeah.
Say stuff like, I agree with everything.
But I love to argue.
That's you. That's still you.
It is still me.
Yeah, I never said that.
Do you read at all?
No.
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 Watch TV shows?
No.
No.
I don't.
What?
I have. I watched. I've watched TV. But recently, I have not watched TV. I watched March Madness. I went to Purdue. I watched them almost.
You like sports?
I love college basketball. Yeah.
Basketball or football?
Basketball.
Okay. Why?
I love it.
You just love it more.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the way they design basketball over football because football, I just think, is a giant advertisement. That's the problem I have with football.
It's a cult.
It's a cult for 10 seconds of action every 15 minutes.
There's a lot of falling down.
Yeah, and it's just annoying, and I do not like watching football games.
I just can't believe they can't figure it out. Like they drop these plays, and they're like, "All right, this is how it's going to work, so you can get around that guy," and it doesn't really work.
You ever watch soccer?
No,
No?
like on TV.
Yeah, that was a gross no. You were like, oh.
I didn't mean to. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Ew, soccer?
No.
No?
I watched college basketball. That's about it.
Dang, so this was a big month for you.
Well, yeah.
Did you make a lineup?
Did I do a bracket?
Yeah.
I did.
How'd you do?
I mean, nobody did well, but it wasn't good. But what do I watch TV? I watch TV. What do I watch?
It's late. You're at home. No mics going on. It's like maybe 8. You're not going to bed yet.
And I'm watching TV.
And you're like,
I'll probably watch some stand up.
Stand up. Who's your favorite?
I love Nate Bargatze.
Really?
Yeah.
Clean.
Yep.
Would you say you're clean?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you even say fuck on stage?
No.
You've never said fuck on stage?
No.
Dang. What's the closest you've gotten?
Hell.
Hell.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for hell once when I was a kid. Sent me to the principal's office. And I was like, that's a bad word.
It's a location.
Yeah, it's not a bad word. It's a location.
Yeah.
Well, technically twat is a location. So
That's true.
It is true. So clean. Who else is a big clean one?
I love Rachel Feinstein.
Oh yeah, she's good.
She is. I love her. Gosh, I mean, of people that are still alive, that are like current. Yeah, Nate Bargatze, Rachel Feinstein, Bill Burr, Mark Norman, Taylor Tomlinson.
Oh yeah, that's another good one. You like
Sebastian
Maniscalco?
Yeah.
You ever watch Tig? She had a special out. She's clean comic. It's a good one.
I don't like seek them out.
Right. But I'm sure you like appreciate the art
I do.
of being clean.
Yeah.
That's because it's hard to do that. I feel like it's really tough to do clean comedy. At least for me, because I feel like I'm saying fuck all the time.
Yeah. No, I could see that.
Yeah. So whenever I go up, I'm like, that's all I'm saying. Because it feels like that's how I talk.
Yeah.
So to hold back on that, it's like, oof. But do you ever see comedy that's not clean that you're like, oof? Does it actually deter you, or do you appreciate it also?
On the local rungs, it's like absolutely vile.
Oh yeah. There's some people where I'm like, damn.
I don't know what's going on. And it's just, that's one way to keep people's attention. They're just absolutely shocked.
Yeah. But you keeping their attention to discuss them is one thing. Yeah.
No, but I see plenty of stuff that's not clean that I think is really funny, but I don't like. I don't know. I could take it or leave it. If it's funny and happens to not be clean, then fine.
Yeah.
But if it's just ADD shock value,
You're stepping out. Yeah, I'm not for that either.
I don't like the shock value stuff.
Yeah. Some shock value is good if it's followed up well, but there is some stuff that I hear and I'm like, that's fucking nuts that you're saying that on stage. I showed a clip of, I probably shouldn't have done this, but I took a clip of one guy who was up there doing a bit, and it was just like, it was really like, holy shit, this is really hard to listen to. And I showed my sister, like, these are what open mics are.
Yeah.
This is why I don't invite you out.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I had to, because my family was like, let's go to that show,
Yeah.
And I was like, this is why you shouldn't. And then I used it as like a repellent.
Yes.
Because people are always asking, like, we should go. And I'm
Right.
like, no, dude, it's fucking horrendous. Yeah. If I actually get a show, then you go to that one.
Yeah, exactly.
But the open mics is like, it's just vile. So, yeah, definitely try to avoid it. But it's tough, though, being clean. I don't think I have... the 9/11 joke is not dirty. That's pretty clean.
I wouldn't call that a 9/11 joke.
I mean, I
I
wouldn't
hear
either.
500 9/11 jokes at every night I go out on the
Right.
scene.
Yeah.
That's not a 9/11 joke.
Right. It's more of a, my mom is as bad as 9/11.
Yeah.
But it's 9/11 involved, I guess.
9/11 passive.
Yeah, exactly. Light.
Yes.
9/11 light.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, there are other people that do fucking heavy 9/11. But I think those are so tacky, though. You ever hear a joke where it's just like a real tacky 9/11 joke where it's
I
like,
hear a 9/11 joke 10 times a night.
and you're like, what the fuck?
I just can't believe it.
Yeah. Do you think that there were times when you first started that you were watching open mics and you were like, oh, this is good, and then now you would hear those jokes today and you're like, this fucking guy?
No.
So you think you kind of clocked it right away?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Mm-hmm. Because that guy said I should be on stage.
What guy?
Every guy that you see up there saying this stuff.
Yeah.
He thought, give me a microphone.
Oh.
This is good.
Oh, yeah.
And that is tough.
That is a tough reality. It's also kind of like, oh, dang, guys that I just see on the daily have this going through their mind. And then I'm seeing inside of their mind right now of like what they're thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also not a good feeling.
Not a great feeling. Yeah. But I mean, it does kind of teach you a little something. It's like, well, I know what's out there now. It's interesting seeing all the different walks of life in comedy too, because you'll see people that I would never have hung out with. And I'm like, I see them at mics all the time and they just have a completely different lifestyle than me. And I'm like, wow, like this is how you live. And they go up there and they're able to tell stories of their life that are relatable. And I'm like, but we're so different, but that's somehow relatable. And that's kind of funny too. But
Yeah, that's the goal. Got to be relatable.
it's got to be at least a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's another joke you got that's a killer one? Not the grimy one, but ones that you're like, yeah, that's one's good.
One that I've heard?
No, that you like, that you've written.
Oh. Gosh. I don't really have everything I have is like relatively long. I don't want to say long-winded. But I don't know. I think I wrote something short recently. Oh, I mean this. I have a couple. I didn't realize how bad a problem like online gambling is for guys.
Oh,
Sports betting.
sports betting. Yeah.
I just had no idea. So now, that has to like be on my radar. Like I went on a date with this guy and it was going really well. He went to the bathroom, came back and was like, everything okay? And he was like, I just lost $1,800.
What? Yeah. How'd that end?
I never saw him again.
So he just walked up to you and was like, I just lost $1,800.
He took his phone to the bathroom.
And he's just trembling at the dinner table the rest of the night?
He just lost all the color in his face. And I was like, I don't normally ask anyone that's come back from the bathroom if everything's okay. That's not something I would ask someone.
Yeah, unless they look like they just...
Yeah. And so I just wrote that down. I was like, that's going to go in a bit at some point.
Yeah. That's funny. I think that story right there was it.
Yeah.
That's fucking good.
Yeah.
Just like I was on a date and this guy walked out of the bathroom and was like, I just lost $1,800. Yeah. And be like, I didn't realize that sports betting is just like something that's good. I like that one.
Thank you.
That is good. Again, drawn from an experience.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I knew a guy who's a bookie and because gambling, like sports betting is illegal in Texas, but people find ways around it through bookies and stuff.
What is like I don't know. Everyone's playing like blackjack on their phone.
I don't really know how that works.
I do have a whole bit about it.
Okay.
Like it's so rampant. Like
Yeah, what is it?
it's just like this. A guy I work with is in so deep with the sports betting. He started putting bets down on Division II women's volleyball.
You know what's so funny about that is I'll hear man comics do the inverse of that joke where they're like, so I'm starting to bet on Division I like women's basketball.
Shoot, is that already has that been done?
It's been done, but it's been done on the opposite side of guys. They're kind of bragging. You know what I mean? They're kind of like, I'm bragging that I'm this deep. And then your angle is, you're an idiot. Why are guys doing this? Which I think is a better angle. Because the angle that guys always take is like, yeah, I'm fucking betting on volleyball. Like Brazilian volleyball, and I don't know anything about it. But I think the angle of the female perspective of being like, these guys are dumb, I like that perspective more because that's a refreshing take.
He's just like losing grip on his life. But I don't know.
Yes, exactly
Yeah.
that. If you tell it that way, where it's like these guys are falling apart from the bone,
Yeah.
but they're all here telling it like they're cool, that's funny. I love that.
That I just wrote down like this morning, so I haven't really
Sure.
paid attention. I usually try to do like a Google search for if it's a premise of sorts that
I mean, they're all stuff that everyone's thought of before, but with your take on it is the thing that's funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is pretty funny.
It is. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because your take is like, these guys are losing their grip on reality.
Yeah.
I had a similar one about girls,
What's that?
and it was girls reading. So girls are always like, oh, like I was on a date, and this girl was like, I am reading like 60, 70 books a year. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really impressive. I was like, that's a lot of books.
What?
Yeah. And then I was like, so what are you reading? And then she starts telling me I don't recognize any of the names. And I look them up later, and they're all like romance novel smut books.
What's a smut book?
Smut is like porn, basically. So it's like romance.
Oh, good God.
You know what I mean?
Why? And she shared that information with you?
Well, she shared it in the light of, look at me, I read, I'm educated. You know what I mean? Like I read and I know what I'm talking about because I read all the time.
That's incredibly embarrassing.
I know. And then you look it up and it's like, bitch, you're just reading porn. Like, what are you doing? And I thought that was a premise for a joke too, of like, there are girls out there who are like, oh, guys have a porn addiction. And it's like, no, lady, you have a fucking porn addiction.
Is that a problem?
Guys, yeah, but guys, that's what girls are critiquing guys. They're saying like, oh, guys are all addicted to porn, and that's why relationships don't work.
Women reading these books, that's like,
I think women are just as fucked up as men, and they don't want to admit it a lot of the time. And when they read these books, it's like you're also creating an unrealistic relationship standard. You know what I mean? So girls are like, guys watching porn is creating an unrealistic standard. You know, because it's like, that's not how women look. They don't all have like big boobs, big ass. It's all plastic. Mm-hmm. So there's a critique on the guys for that. But then there's a critique. My critique is a counter critique on the girls going, well, I'm not a Romancing the Stone novel. I'm not going to travel across India to look for you.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's like a counterweight there where it's like,
So the woman's fantasizing about a man making an effort.
when you put it that way, yeah, that's exactly what they're fantasizing about, is a man, but not just an effort, but an effort that's so unbelievably pushed that it's like, what kind of guy is doing that? You know what I mean? You're looking at an unrealistic expectation. But again, guys do the same thing with porn, where it's like, we have an unrealistic expectation of the female body. So it's like, we're both fucked up, is my point.
Okay.
Do you agree?
I think there's different positioning on the scale there
What do you mean?
as far as I don't think those are equal.
How so?
I don't want to talk about porn.
No?
No.
Oh, well. We can move on.
Did you think that I wanted to talk about porn?
No, I don't think you want to talk about porn. But the conversation got there. That's how I looked at the situation, was like, well, I thought that was a good bit. It's like, yeah, I think that women also have unrealistic expectations, but we're both fucked up. Like, we both have problems.
We all have problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Oh, I agree. Everybody has problems.
Yeah. What's another bit that you've been working on?
Oh. It's just like, I mean, I just read all of this and I'm like, I don't know if there's anything here. This could be terrible. This might be a little too meta, if you will, but I was thinking about how there's a day in everyone's early childhood where you first develop the ability to have a memory. You develop memory for the first time. And I personally have a terrible memory. And I thought of a premise where I'm watching all of my friends as a 4-year-old for the first time know what yesterday is. And I have to have that.
Watching my friends as a 4-year-old for the first time know what yesterday is. What does that mean?
Because for the first time in your life as a child, at some point, there is now a past tense. You've developed the cognition to have a memory.
Oh, that is meta as fuck. Holy shit.
I'm not going to do it.
No, wait, hold on. Dig into that. So you're saying, like, there's a moment where everybody's like, yesterday already happened.
Yeah, or we did that before. And I'm like, oh. And then, I was just thinking like, like a friend says to me, Annie, don't you remember when that happened? And I'm like, no. And what is remember? That's like something that would just totally bomb.
That is an interesting thought, though.
There's
the first
something.
time that you remember something, the first time of being like, there was a passing in time, like that already happened.
Yes.
I think that kind of goes back to your first memory, But I don't know. I don't like. Do you know what your first memory is? I don't think I know what my first memory is.
No.
Yeah.
But I just like the idea of it. Like that for the first time, there's a past tense.
It's kind of a sad thought, though. Don't you think? Because it's like the first time I'm recognizing I haven't done something for the first time.
I think the sad end of that would be you're so old that you can't talk about the future.
It's like
I think
everything
it's hopeful
is past.
I hope it's hopeful when you're 3.
Yeah. And you're like, everything is... Oh, okay. So you're saying like when you're 3, it's like, oh, like everything's happening. But that first moment of be like, that already happened. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a sad thought. It's like, oh, I guess I already did that. But anyway, what's another one?
There's probably nothing here. But when I was watching my college basketball team play, I always like look up the bios of the players and see what they're majoring in. And there's they just
Why does that matter?
I don't know.
I think that's funny right there. That's a bit right there. That's already funny.
Well, that's part of it. But they have started making up degrees to get these kids through.
Okay.
Most common major is organizational leadership.
That's funny.
They just made it up.
Just for them.
They just made it up. And I was like, that's, it's kind of like...
You think they hire teachers for that too? Made up teachers?
Maybe. That's just like a get through it degree.
Yeah. Made up teachers with made up scores.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's like It's like lowering the like you got to move the product.
Yeah.
Like, all right, they're not passing. They're not. The English pager's not working. Like, let's throw them something else. Let's get them through.
Imagine failing the course that was made up for you to pass.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But again, I don't know. I don't know how that works out on stage.
I like that one. You got me to laugh right there just by saying, like, I like to look up what the players are majoring in on college basketball.
I feel
That's funny.
It feels a little like mean.
No, I think it's funny.
I don't know.
Because they also know they're not.
No, I know.
They're not dumb. They're just dumb, you know? They know that they're there to play basketball. They're not there to be a biomedic or whatever.
No, that's true.
I mean, they probably laugh about it too. Like, how are you doing in your made-up class? Doing pretty good.
They don't even go to class.
Yeah, probably
They don't
not.
even go.
Imagine skipping the made-up class.
Yeah.
It was a made-up course designed for you to pass, and you couldn't even show up, man.
Yeah, they had a meeting. They're like, how are we going to get these guys through?
How are we going to get them through their made-up classes to get them through?
I don't know. Just a bunch of...
What's another one? These are fun. These are good. I'm having fun with this.
Boy.
And I'm putting you on the spot, though. But my phone is filming us right now, so that's why.
Okay, let's see.
Otherwise, I'd go through some of mine. I was trying to think of one recently I did. I did a video the other day about the most psychotic thing I have done in my life, and I was in elementary school. And the video was basically in elementary school. I was very young. I don't know why I did this. I snuck into some kid's lunchbox, and I stole his juice box. And I went to a secluded part of the school, and I stomped on it. I didn't even drink it.
That's very strange.
It's very strange. And then I just like watched him open his lunch and not see the juice.
You turned out okay for that story.
I know, right? That's psychotic. And my parents were like, they got my parents involved, and they were like, "Why did you do that?" And I was like, I honestly don't know why I did that.
It was just a one-off.
It was
You're
a one-off.
okay now.
I think I came through okay. But I think that's an interesting story because it's like you have to do something crazy for everybody to be like, "What the fuck was going on?" And then I'm like, I don't know. I guess that's wrong. I won't do that again. You know what I mean?
Couldn't have, put that to bed better. Like,
Yeah. Like, I guess that was fucked up. Sorry. You ever done something like that where you're like, ooh, that was bad?
Oh, yeah. I was a really bad kid.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not see that.
No.
You seem very clean cut.
Yeah. No, I was a very strange kid.
What'd you do?
Oh, I got suspended all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you mouthing off?
Always yelling stuff out. I think I got suspended for the first time in like first grade. I made a toilet out of snow during recess.
You got suspended for that?
And I made the kids use it.
That is a bit right there. Oh my God, that's so good. That's fucking hilarious.
Sent me home.
Holy shit. Did they shit in it or were they peeing?
I don't really remember.
Oh my God. How good was this toilet that you made out of snow?
It was fantastic.
Oh
it was really well made.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And they got you in trouble. That sucks. That's a piece of art. You got the whole class involved? That's incredible.
Yeah. Kids that weren't even friends lining up together.
Oh my God, what a story.
Yeah. I threw a sheet of ice on a girl. Like there was a puddle and a sheet of ice had like covered it. It hardened up and I kicked it up just to get the sheet. And I threw it at this girl because she had the same jacket on as me.
Oh, that's psychotic.
That was it.
You turned out all right?
She's a nice girl, but that was it.
Did it cut her?
No.
No? But people pulled your side after and they were like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah, my parents got a call. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Got kicked out of Girl Scouts.
You were a Girl Scout.
Yeah, I got kicked out of ice skating.
Dang. Yeah. They're like, yo, that's the ice sheet girl.
No, that didn't even follow me. Clean slate, still got kicked out. Yeah.
Clean slate, no pun intended. Yeah. That's good. That's crazy. What's another good one? I love hearing people's childhood stories. I think it says more about anybody than anything, you know?
I don't know if there's anything particularly like entertaining, but I got in trouble all the time.
Yeah. The last two were pretty entertaining.
I was like bullying kids alone. You know, bullies usually have friends.
Oh, so that you have an audience?
Yeah, or
You were a bully.
I was a bully and I acted alone, which is strange.
That is strange.
But
that's like more of a personal.
Much like you, I turn things around.
That's good.
I consider myself quite normal now.
You don't ever feel those bully tendencies?
No, I do.
Does that come out in comedy? Do you ever like roast?
No, I haven't done that.
No? I haven't done a roast either.
I would not want to do that.
Yeah? I think I would be bad at it. I don't think I'm very good at roasting someone.
I don't think I could handle it coming at me.
Really?
So I shouldn't do it the other way.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I could handle it, but I definitely would go home and like
cry.
I'd be conscious of the things that people said, you know? Like if someone was like, "Oh, your fucking teeth look bad," I'd go home and brush my damn teeth. Is what I would do.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what
that'd
I mean?
be bad for him. I wouldn't.
I'd be like, "Nope, can't handle that." But some people are like, that's their jam. It's just roasting. And I'm like, you were definitely a bullying kid. Like you were bullying kids for sure if that's your jam. Because I don't know, it's a weird type of comedy.
It is.
Yeah. But as a clean comic, I feel like roasting is the farthest thing from like what you want to do. You're like, I'm not trying to ruin someone's day here.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So how'd you bully these kids? What were you doing? What'd you say to them?
Just, I don't know. I don't know why I was so mean. I just would just decide I didn't like the way someone was, and just try to make them feel stupid.
This went on for a while, it sounds like. You did this a lot.
I did it a lot. Wow. Yeah.
Just ruining someone.
Just like, yeah. But then, I don't know, I'm a nice person now.
Yeah, you think you're making up for it because you're aware that beast is inside you?
Maybe. I don't.
Now you're like, shit, I gotta.
It's weird.
Seek penance.
This is like, this is very far in the past. So no, I do not feel like I'm still making up for elementary school.
Right.
But no, I don't know. I'm just grateful that I'm normal and nice now. You know?
That's interesting. Do you, I was gonna say, I actually bullied some people, but I found that I'd get my ass kicked. Like I weighed like 80 pounds in high school. So I would mouth off all the time. I would just kind of run my mouth and talk shit. And then people would just beat the shit out of me because I looked like a paperweight.
It's a bad combo.
Yeah. So I had to keep my mouth shut eventually because I would just like, damn, I can't fight. But I never wanted to learn how to fight. So I can't do it.
You had to be quiet because you're like on crutches.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you going to do? If I had crutches, that'd be a better defensive mechanism than just being me. You know what I mean? At least I have a weapon on me at all times.
Yeah, it sounds like you weren't doing well.
No.
It's just you.
Exactly. But maybe the crutch is a leg up. No pun intended. But anyway, that's crazy. I would not have taken you for a bully. That is wild.
Oh, yeah. It's been a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You can move the mic if you want to lean back. There you go.
I don't bully people anymore.
Yeah. I would love to see you in a roast, though. That would be funny. Just a one-way roast?
A one-way roast. Sign me up.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm going to dish everything out at you, and then I'm going to leave.
No, I can't handle it all.
Yeah.
I can't. When I watched Kill Tony, I made the mistake of, for a split second, having the live chat up.
Yeah.
Before I even said something, someone in all caps put ugly.
Oh, that sucks.
Like, Jesus. I had to exit out of it. Can't imagine me in a roast. I would leave. I would.
I did the live stream is brutal because I put mine up there, and as soon as I walked out, people were like, "Gay, pedophile, loser, bitch,
Yeah.
get this guy off." And I was streaming it to all my friends, like I watched with a bunch of my friends, and I am clearly like, "Fuck, dude, this sucks."
No, I'm so glad I did. I immediately
Yeah.
got out of there.
But you came out okay. They didn't roast you that bad. They were good to you, like the panel.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, no. All of that was fine.
Yeah,
and the
you did
comments are
great.
fine.
Yeah.
Just before I said
live stream.
anything, people were pissed.
Yeah. The live stream is like cancer. Yeah. That is the worst one.
I never want to be on there again.
Really? You wouldn't sign up again?
No, the live stream.
Oh, okay. Would you sign up for Kill Tony again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. I think it's a positive experience. I went through like ebbs and flows. At first I was like, I don't think I'd sign up again. And then I was like, it wasn't that bad. And then now I'm kind of at like it was a good learning experience. Like it was just kind of good to be there.
Yeah, if I feel like I have something that would do well,
That do well, then you get back in it.
I find a minute to be very, very hard.
Yeah, minute's tough.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of guys end up doing that shock value because it's so quick.
Yeah.
They just have to go out there and be like shock value.
Yeah, and no one knows who you are. No one knows what angle you're coming from. You don't have
Exactly.
time to build.
Any sort of rapport at all.
And so it's mostly jokes that anyone can do because of the time frame.
Yeah.
So it has to be, I think, exceptionally clever, and you have to be able to get to the point quick.
Yeah. I do love though when people take their time and they go out there cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, but that's so much pressure on the laugh then.
It is.
Oh,
it's
God.
huge pressure on the punchline because if it doesn't land, you're just an idiot. But there are guys who go up there and they do like boom, 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 like they're just dishing them out.
Yeah.
And it feels almost too cheap. It's like, come on, man, like do a fucking like,
Right.
I want a little bit of foreplay, like build it up and then drive it home.
Yeah, it shouldn't sound like the best jokes on my phone.
Exactly. Yeah. It needs to be a little bit personal, a little bit of build up.
But I don't know. Me saying what should and shouldn't is hilarious.
Hey, that's the beauty of comedy. I mean, I'm 8 months in. Like I said, I don't know either. But I think at the end of the day, we're all people and we all know what's funny.
Yeah.
So it's like we all have some kind of experience in that. And so we have some say. But I'm not going to walk around and be like, I'm fucking the god.
Yeah.
The comedy family, you know? Callback.
Very good callback.
But yeah, it is cool, though. It is cool. You should do Lucky the Duck, though. The Lucky Duck is a good one to go to.
On Wednesdays.
Yeah, Wednesdays. That is a good mic to go to because it's...
Is it on the back porch?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And it's like the worst setting for comedy ever because it's like there's people drinking, there's people talking, there's people vibing, and then you walk out with a mic and you're like, hey, fucking airplane food.
Why should I go there?
Because it can either be so good where you have everybody's attention and they're looking at you and you're doing your jokes and they're laughing because it's a good vibe and people are drinking. It can be like that.
Yeah.
Or it could be the worst thing ever where nobody's even looking at you. And the three people that are just like, what the fuck are they doing? You know?
Yeah.
And it's good to go through that shit so that when it happens again, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
But it's mostly shit is what it is. But it's good. It's like once again, it's character building. I know you said you don't want to build any more character, but
Yeah, I'm good.
I think it's cool. I like that one a lot. Because when you do well, it's like that one was a good one. And
No,
it
that's
feels
what
so
that's
much better.
I mean, that's what you want. You want to do well when you deserve to do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also want to feel like you deserved it,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah.
Because there are times, have you ever done a set where you're like, why are they laughing at that? That wasn't even good.
Not yet.
No. There are times where like I do a joke and I'm like, that wasn't even the punchline. Like, why did they laugh?
And there wasn't even like a soft, like,
There was a soft moment, but it's like that was a huge laugh for a very soft moment. And then you realize, like, I think the crowd's just kind of drunk or everything's kind of vibing.
yeah,
And they're just kind of giving me cheap laughs
yeah.
just because they're kind of in the moment, which is fine. But it's also like, I didn't deserve that, you know?
I haven't had anybody like laugh in the middle of like a premise building sentence. You've had that happen?
Yeah, I've had that happen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So like in the one about my dad that I just told you, I'll say like the second time I saw my dad cry, he hit my mom's car on the way out of the garage, and then they laughed because they kind of already see where it's going.
Yeah.
But that's not
That's fine. That's what you want though.
right.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll get an eruption there, and I'm like, that wasn't even that funny yet, you know. And then I do the punchline, and they laugh more, and I'm like, okay, I guess it's just,
Well,
you know.
I mean, you're going to have bits of the audience that are ahead of you, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And if you get a laugh on that, great.
Run with it.
Yeah.
And I take it, but just sometimes you're just like, I don't think I deserve that. But I don't know. I'm still pretty new too. So there's a lot of things that I see and I'm like, I'm not really sure why that happened, you know?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what's going on either.
Yeah. Cool. Do you ever golf around here? You ever go to Jimmy Clay, Roy Kaiser?
No.
No? The Munis? You never dip into the Munis? Never?
No.
Why not?
Pretty much only golf, like, on vacation.
Oh.
I've played, like, a few rounds in Austin,
Yeah.
but
I do the Moonies here because there's a golf course right here, Kaiser Clay. It's shitty compared to Spanish Oaks, obviously, but not a bad time.
yeah, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. I've hit on the range there once. It's just like, it's like concrete.
But yeah,
Really, that's character building.
that is character building. Playing on the concrete.
But no, I just really, when I go somewhere, I always look for a golf course to play. So,
Where's the last place you've been?
boy, I haven't been anywhere in a while, but I'm going to Prague next month, and I'm going to play 2 courses there.
Prague.
3 courses, yeah.
Prague must be not. I've been there once. I was a kid. Very cool. The bridge is like the big thing. The
Yeah.
bridge and the church on the hill. Very nice. The best part going in there was there's a lot of people that speak Russian. Like I was a Russian studies major when I was in college. So I was so excited to go because I knew there were some people there that spoke Russian because there used to be Soviet.
Russian studies?
Yeah, I did that in college for like 2 years. And then I went political science.
Got it.
That's why I was thinking lawyer.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Russian studies was like a big thing I did. And I tried to learn Russian. I got pretty good. I watched movies all the time.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to ACC just for like 2 years. That's where I did most of it.
They
'cause
have Russian studies
they had
at
Russian
Austin
studies.
Community College?
Yeah, and I did a lot of it there. I got really into it. And then I started going to Texas State. And
What
they
does
didn't
it look
offer
like if
anything.
you do it and you're not really into it? How can you do Russian studies and not be into it? What does that look like?
There's a lot of people that were just trying to learn Russian passively. And they were like, yeah, I just want to learn Russian and that's it. And they were doing that.
But it was Russian studies.
Yeah. But it's interesting because you learn about the history of Russia too. You get a lot of that. And
People are like, I just want Russia.
yeah,
Okay.
Russian studies.
Okay.
But it was cool. I was like one of the cooler things I've took in college.
You said just there, just Russia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was really fascinated. I loved Russia.
No, that's good. I think I'm jealous because
Yeah.
God, I'm not interested in a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah?
That's my jealousy. That's my bullying.
If you had to learn a language, what would you learn?
I tried desperately to learn French. I took it for 7 years. Can't say anything. Can't.
Not even a little?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to like
Omelette du fromage?
cheese omelet. I mean, yeah, that's kind of where it stopped for me.
That's all I know. Yeah, that's all I know. I feel like the French are, I don't know. I have my own experiences with the French that make me think that I would never want to learn French because they don't want us to speak French, is like the impression I've gotten. Where like if I'm learning French and I'm speaking French with someone who's French, they're like, that's cute. Let's just speak in English because you suck.
Where are you having experiences with the French?
I went to Paris once and we had a bunch of experience with the French and they were all pretty negative. But that was just in Paris. And then I've heard people say like, oh, the actual French people outside of Paris are really nice. So there's been that.
Got it.
But my experience with French people in Paris was all negative. Like most of it was pretty damn negative.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So never really wanted to take French. Also, the spelling and all that is a fucking nightmare because it's like 15 letters to just say, ugh.
It's not that bad.
It's like EAUEX or whatever for some of the words. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. There are worse offenders.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like what? Like the Chinese are crazy efficient. Shit's like they're really on the ball.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know. Like what? I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
Yeah. French is up there. I mean, I don't really know that many either. Like the Russians are pretty efficient with their language. Everything's pretty clean cut because it's a very new language. They like made it all like in the 1200s, which is like sounds old, but that's pretty new when as far as languages go. So they really did a good job designing it. But like French is crazy. English is like insane. Most people hate learning how to write in English just because of how insane it is.
Yeah.
But speaking it is easy, is what I've heard.
That's funny, the new language thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they like designed the whole language like around like I think the 1200s, 1300s because they didn't have a written version.
Got it.
So they were like, we need to just come up with a written version of our language and we're going to make it as phonetic and simple as possible. So they just wrote it all out in a really clean-cut way. So it ended up being pretty good.
And they were like, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's new.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, yeah, new. They were copying, the French and the English.
Do you want to do it with me? Like is that the last language to be introduced?
Which one, the Russians?
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be the last. I bet Swahili is really far down that list. You know what I mean?
That's a tough sell.
Swahili?
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's a tough sell. New language.
Oh, to like learn a new one.
Yeah, like we're doing our own thing.
You hear of what was that language called? They tried to make a language in the 80s where it combined every language of the world into one language.
Oh God, why?
Because they were like, this is going to be the big
world peace.
World peace,
Got it.
all that stuff. And there were a few people that spoke it efficiently, and they were like, this is going to go so far.
God, what a waste of their time.
Waste. Nobody learned it. Completely fell flat on its face.
They want that time back.
They do. Yeah. They still, oh man, I forgot what it's called. I'm going to look it up. Hold on. Language that combined all languages.
Oh my God, it's 11:20.
Yeah, whenever you got to go, we can call it.
I had no idea.
I forgot what it was called. You pull it up. Oh, I can't find it. I'll probably find it later. Do you need to head out?
I do. I was not paying attention.
Yeah, we've been here 2 hours.
Yeah, I work at 6:45.
Oh, shit. Going to the golf course.
Yes.
Well, then let's end it.
Okay.
Roger that.
This was
Pleasure.
great.
Yeah. And we're stopping it